What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Your Daddy Issues Gaming. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Virtual Desktop for this awesome environment you guys see me in right now, and also the creators of the Redream Dreamcast emulator, which I'm playing right now. Links below in the description. All right, enough paying bills. Let's dive right in. So, like the title stated, yep, I used to be a pirate, a software pirate. You see, I chose Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast because this was the first game I had ever pirated. You see, back in the year 2000, games were a lot harder to get the shady way, quote unquote, than what they are now. You see, not everyone had high-speed internet then. We were still well into the dial-up era. I mean, my Comcast high-speed cable internet at the time was around 768 kilobits per second. Now, that sounds super slow these days, but that was considered fast then. I mean, when you're coming from 56K dial-up internet, man, that was blazing. So I had purchased a Dreamcast when it was released on 9/9/99. Luckily for me, which I actually didn't know at the time, but I found out later on, there was no copyright protection on it. You see, Sega thought that if they use a proprietary disc format, which was GD-ROM, this would be enough to prevent hackers or crackers from, pirating the games. This was a hardware prevention by Sega. You see, their GD-ROM format held 1 gigabyte worth of data. Everything on the mass market was stuff to burn CDs, and CDs only held 700 megabytes worth of data. So Sega figured, there's nothing on the mass market that people can copy these games bit for bit, so we have nothing to worry about. Needless to say, not long after the system's release, it was quote unquote cracked. But it wasn't just as simple as taking or renting. You still had to rent games back then, renting a game and copying it bit for bit. Because again, we didn't have any hardware that was mass produced to allow this. So what you had to do is you had to visit the shadyware sites or use programs such as IRC or know someone with an FTP or I know these things sound so ancient. It's probably so foreign, but hey, you would also use LimeWire. I mean, who wasn't using LimeWire then, right? So, I was no stranger to downloading illegally. I mean, who wasn't using Napster by that time? You remember Napster, right? Everyone remembers Napster. I mean, you would download your playlist and then you would listen to your music on Winamp or make a mix CD. So, again, not a stranger to downloading illegal stuff. Now, once I downloaded a Dreamcast game, the floodgates opened up. I mean, I discovered I could download entire operating systems, software that I needed, sometimes shows and movies. I was blown away by this entire new world that was opened up to me, especially with, once again, my high-speed internet. I mean, 768 kilobits per second. I mean, for a Sonic game that was like 700 megabytes, I would literally have to just queue the files up and leave it overnight or for a couple hours, because it took a couple hours even still to download something that big. So it wasn't anything that was instantaneous. It wasn't anything that was really fast, but you were still able to download the game. And the funny thing about it is the way I would always justify pirating or downloading illegal stuff was I couldn't afford it. I mean, I was 20 years old. I was a college student. Like I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford. I mean, I could obviously save up and afford a system, but I mean, I couldn't afford the games. I couldn't afford to go out every week and purchase the new album from someone or whatever. So this was just more convenient. I was able to save money. That's how I would justify it. The last time I downloaded something illegally was probably about 3 years ago. You see, as I've gotten older, I've become more concerned with the downsides to all this, the maliciousness of the software and its ramifications. I mean, we're not just talking about downloading something that has a virus that may wipe out your computer or destroy a couple files. No, we're talking about things that are giving people access, remote instantaneous access to your personal banking files and things like that. So again, as I've gotten older, I was just like, I would just not rather deal with that. And I would just rather just purchase whatever I need outright. I mean, obviously, as I've gotten older, I've made more money. So yeah, I can afford this stuff. There's no need for me to download stuff illegally. And then, I begin to think about, the creators of this stuff and how they pay their bills. Yes, to my younger audiences, it will happen one day. You will begin to think of those things. But yeah, and I mean, especially when it comes to games, I would rather purchase the game knowing that I'm going to get the patches, the support, the updates, everything that I need, instead of trying to track all this stuff down. Again, going to some shady website trying to track down, is this game updated, and is this update safe, and this update is nuked for this reason, and it just, I would rather not deal with that. So these days I like to pay for my stuff. So I am an ex-pirate who has seen the light. I just have. So that was my I'm a pirate story. And if you like that story and my other stories, you want to hear some more stories, click that subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell. You'll know when I'm uploading. And I like to upload also stuff concerning my cute little Whitley, my little doggy. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.